Hello, my name is Shiko, and I'm all about finding ways to do Disney easily and affordably. So if that's your vibe, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can catch my future videos as well. And in today's video, I'll be showing you how to plan an entire day at Disneyland for under $200, including theme park ticket, parking, Disneyland food and snacks, and even some merch. And this is all without promotional codes or limited time offers. Just some good old-fashioned planning, creativity, and of course, some magic. Now, one important thing to note with this budget is that it was created for a single adult spending a single day at a single park and does not include costs for travel or accommodations. That said, a group visiting the park over multiple days can still use this budget to save on their visit. It'll just cost more than $200 per person. And lastly, I think it's only fair to acknowledge that for a lot of us, spending $200 on a single day is a lot of money. That's gas for the month, food and groceries for 2 weeks, childcare for the day. But when you consider that a single ticket can cost upwards of $206, planning an entire day for under that amount is a pretty big deal. In my humble opinion, of course. So with that, let's jump right into the first and most crucial part of this budget, and that is purchasing your theme park ticket. Now, if you're new to Disney or have not been in a while, the Disneyland Resort has moved away from a single priced ticket to a tier system, where every day is assigned a tier from 0 to 6. The higher tiers are typically reserved for the weekends, major holidays, and school breaks, and the lower tiers are typically reserved for middle of the week in between these popular times. And this is where we want to focus. In order to plan an entire day at Disneyland for under $200, you're going to purchase a Tier 0, Tier 1, or Tier 2 ticket, which at the time of this filming is $104 for Tier 0, $126 for Tier 1, and $142 for Tier 2. To find these tickets, you can go on the Disneyland website and select Buy Theme Park Tickets, and after answering the prompts, go to the calendar and scroll to find the day and tier that works best for you. Or you can go in the description box below and download my free 2025 Disney ticket calendar, which includes updated ticket pricing, all of the calendar days color-coded by tier, and the 2025 Disney event calendar, so you can coordinate your visit with one of the special events going on in the parks, such as Season of the Force for Star Wars fans, the 70th anniversary celebration, and even the holiday season. So again, if you want to make planning a bit easier, go ahead and download that free PDF through the link in the description box below. And with that, we can now move on to what I'd consider the most creative part of this budget, and that is parking. The Disneyland Resort offers 2 options for parking, which are the 6-story Mickey and Friends / Pixar Pals parking structure located half a mile away from the entrance, and the open-air Toy Story parking area located 3/4 of a mile away. Parking in both of these lots is $35 per vehicle and is available 1 hour before the parks open to 1 hour after the latest park closes. Transportation to the front of the park is complimentary and is provided by a tram service out of the Mickey and Friends / Pixar Pals parking structure that takes about 5 minutes, and a bus service out of the Toy Story parking area that takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to arrive at the front. Now, I have parked at both of these lots and find them to be useful and convenient options for my visits. But if we're going to plan an entire day at Disneyland for under $200, we're actually going to skip these options and instead park at the Anaheim Regional Transportation Intermodal Center, better known as the ARTIC. The ARTIC is a local transportation hub in Anaheim that provides bus, rail, and taxi services to daily commuters and leisure travelers. The ARTIC is located 2.5 miles away and is the perfect option for this budget because daily parking here is free. Transportation to the Disneyland Resort is provided by the Anaheim Regional Transportation Bus, better known as the ART Bus, which, fun fact, is the exact same bus that operates out of the Toy Story parking area. and a one-day adult pass costs $6. And the next important thing to note is that the ART bus operates on a fixed schedule, arriving at the ARTIC every 45 to 50 minutes, which is completely different from the tram service and bus service that is operated out of the Disneyland parking lots, because those operate continuously throughout the day. That means you're going to want to plan for enough time to park, gather your belongings, and wait for your bus, because missing it can set you back up to an hour, and that's not what we want. There are 2 bus lines that will take you to the Disneyland Resort, and those are the 15 ARTIC Sports Complex line and the 15 ARTIC Express line. The Express line operates Monday through Friday, with buses leaving at 6, 6:45, and 7:45 a.m. The Express line has no stops, making for a swift 15-minute ride, whereas the ARTIC Sports Complex line has anywhere from 1 to 3 stops and operates from 6:30 a.m. to 30 minutes after the latest park closes. Because of the stops, the ARTIC Sports Complex line can take anywhere from 20 minutes in the morning and early afternoon to upwards of 30 minutes during rush hour time, and again arrives at the ARTIC every 45 to 50 minutes. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 15 minutes, 20 minute, 30-minute rides sounds like a lot compared to the shorter ride times from the Disneyland parking lots. But believe me when I say that I have waited up to 45 minutes just to pay for parking at the Mickey and Friends parking structure. So if planned correctly, you may very well arrive, get through security, and make your way into the park before I have even turned off my transmission. And the way that you are going to plan is by downloading the Away We Go app, which is where you'll not only purchase your one-day pass, but access the bus routes and times. Away We Go also has a great feature that allows you to track your bus, giving you an estimated time of arrival and even showing you the amount of seats available. In filming this video, I, of course, used the bus and found it to be spacious and clean, and the drivers to be incredibly friendly. So this is, again, a great option for you if you want to save money and potentially even save time in comparison to parking at Disneyland. Now, I came up with a fun way to remember the different buses, and that is if you are an early riser and make it for that 6 o'clock, 6:45, or 7:45 a.m. bus, then you are getting an A at seizing the day and 8 and not being late, which means that you are going to be taking the Express line that operates out of Bay 8, which is in the back of the ARTIC facing the large A of the Angels Stadium. Or if you're like me and are not about to front about being an early bird, okay, you accept that you like to sleep in a little bit, you tend to get around to doing things, then you are going to be using the Sports Complex line, which operate out of Bay 12 and 13, which are at the front of ARTIC facing the round Honda Center. So again, if you're an early riser, you get an A at seizing the day and 8 and not being late. So you are taking the Express line out of Bay 8 at the back of the ARTIC facing the Angels Stadium. But if you're not going to front about being an early bird and tend to get around to things when you can, then you are going to be at the front of the ARTIC in Bay 12 and 13, which faces the round Honda Center. Did that make sense? Did that help? Hopefully it did. And if not, again, just use the app, go in there, plan out your schedule, and it'll tell you which bus to take. And with all of that information, we can now move to the tastiest part of our budget, and that is the food. Because we're planning an entire day in the park, I budgeted breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack to give us enough fuel to make it through the day. And starting off, we have breakfast at the Ship to Shore Marketplace, located in Frontierland. Here we are getting the fan favorite breakfast chimichanga, which is available from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or until supplies last. I wasn't able to find a description online, but my breakfast chimichanga included sausage, egg, cheese, potatoes, bacon, all in a fried burrito for $7.49. Filming this video was actually my first time trying this item, and I have to say, I get why it's a fan favorite. Like, my mouth is literally watering thinking about it. Like, it is that good. There's also the option to add green salsa for $1.50, and while I did try it during this visit, it's not something I'd recommend. Not because it isn't tasty, but $1.50 for a container that small should honestly be a crime. Like, that's just, no. Bob, what are we doing? Another way we're gonna save money is by drinking our own beverage from home. If you didn't know, you're allowed to bring your own food and snacks into Disney. So honestly, you can skip purchasing any of these food items and bring everything from home. But if you really want that full Disneyland experience, then I would recommend buying the food, but skipping out on spending money on the drink. On this day, I used a small little water bottle that I borrowed from my daughter and filled it with apple juice, which was a great pairing to my breakfast. Next, we have lunch at Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo, located at Star Wars Galaxy Edge. Here, we're getting the fried chicken baos, which are 2 crispy chicken baos with spicy katsu sauce and creamy slaw for $14.99. This is a favorite that I come back to again and again because it is both flavorful and filling for a really good price. The chicken is crispy and juicy, and that spicy katsu sauce and slaw offers that perfect sweet and tangy mix. And just like for breakfast, I opted out of buying a beverage and instead drank my own. Next, we're going to the Tropical Hideaway Express located in Adventureland and getting the iconic Dole Whip soft serve, available for $6.49. You can also pick it up around the corner at the Tiki Juice Bar, but there they only serve the original pineapple flavor, whereas the Tropical Hideaway serves pineapple, mango, and strawberry. On this day, I got the mango and pineapple swirl, which is my favorite combination. And just in general, I love the Dole Whip because while it is a sweet treat, it is also light and refreshing, making for the perfect midday pick-me-up. And for dinner, we're going back to Frontierland to the Rancho del Zocalo restaurant and purchasing the Sonora Bowl with chicken for $12.49. The Sonora Bowl comes with rice and beans topped with salsa fresca, sour cream, and contija cheese, and tasted like a fresher, lighter take on a Chipotle bowl. This item was tasty, but the salsa was very cold and a bit strange eating on top of the warm chicken dish. So if I were to get this again, I would definitely ask to have the salsa on the side to allow it to come up to room temperature so that the temperature difference isn't as stark. You can also get the Sonora Bowl with beef for $1 extra, but I found the chicken to be a great option, especially when keeping to a tight budget. Now, we've gone through all of the necessary items that you need for a Disney day, including your theme park ticket, parking, and food. But I always think it's nice to give yourself a little treat and purchase some merchandise to remember your day. So if that's you, you definitely want to stay for the next part of this budget, which is merch. Now, if you've been keeping track of the budget, after purchasing our theme park ticket, we've spent $6 for parking, $7.49 for breakfast, $14.99 for lunch, $6.49 for our snack, and $12.49 for dinner, giving us a subtotal of $151.46 for those who purchased a Tier 0 ticket, $173.46 for those who purchased a Tier 1 ticket, and $189.46 for those who purchased a Tier 2, leaving us with $48, $26, and $10 for merchandise. But this is without tax, so to make room for that, we're actually going to be looking for merch under $40, $20, and $7. There are tons of stores selling merchandise throughout the park. But for this video, I decided to visit the Emporium, located on Main Street. Now, finding merch under $7 is difficult, but I was able to find these chocolate coins for $5.99. And while this won't last forever, it is something you can take home and enjoy over the days. In fact, this is my daughter's favorite treat, and what we like to do is she'll pick out a character, and if it's one of the ones that we saw that day, we'll talk about it and how she felt and how fun it was. So again, while this is not a forever item, it is something that you can use to remember your trip. Now for merch under 20, we're starting out with these Mickey and Minnie water bottles for $19.99. You open them by using the top with their ears, and the cups just have a lot of cute sayings and images around it. And they are rather small, carrying only 12 ounces each, but I figured they're pretty cute and worth mentioning. Next, we have this mug for $19.99. That's a pretty good size and weight, and I consider a good quality item. In the center, we have Mickey and Minnie, of course, with symbols representing each land in Disneyland surrounding them. And because of this, I'd say this item is rather unique and not something that would be easily recreated and found online. It has a Mickey arm as the handle and of course the Disneyland Resort written on the back. So again, if you're looking for a quality item that's rather unique, this would be a good buy. There are a ton of accessories, but the one that I decided to pick out are these Minnie Mouse earrings for $19.99. They're stud earrings with this really pretty pastel coloring that I thought were just so cute and just a really nice keepsake for you if you're a fan of Minnie Mouse. And last, for this category, I was able to find some ears that were previously $34.99 and went on sale for only $15. So believe it or not, but Disneyland does have sales. So it's worth it walking around the store to see if you can score a great deal. These are great quality with all of the classic characters on it and that cute Mickey hat symbol in the middle and large iridescent bow. So as beautiful as this is, and only for $15, I absolutely had to get it and ended up going home with a pair of my own. Now, full disclosure, I filmed this footage at the beginning of the year, so I'm not sure if this item is still available, but if it is a perfect buy because you are not going to get ears of this quality for this price, either in Disneyland or elsewhere online. So if you come across it, get it. Now for the tier 0 ticket holders who have $40 to spend, you can get any of the things I mentioned before or these items, which are all going to be things you wear. Starting off with these adult t-shirts available for $29.99 each. There is a ton of variety that constantly switches out. So if you're a huge fan of a specific character or movie, it may be worth it to go through and see if there's a shirt that's right for you. I also saw this really nice vintage Mickey hat, which is available for $29.99, that has this cool distressed worn out look and has the vintage Mickey Mouse in the middle. So if you're a hat fan, this may be a great option for you. Now, I love a good fanny pack. So if you're like me, this Disneyland fanny pack may be an option for you at $34.99. But if you don't like those, but still want something small to hold your items, then you can go for this sling backpack that is offered at the same price. It has all the classic characters against this deep navy background and is just such a beautiful piece. Another option is this one with the nice white background and the classic Disney symbols such as the ears, castle, Mickey balloons, and features a large D in front and embossed Mickey heads in the back, and is available for also $34.99. And last, for backpacks, we have this small Disney sling-like backpack that has raised lettering and again includes those iconic Disney symbols such as rides, the Mickey balloon, the Mickey ice cream bar, and is again just great quality and a great item for you to store your things if you want something that's not too big and bulky, but you're not a fan of fanny pack. Another item that is super popular that you will definitely see while walking through the park are the Minnie ears. And while all of these are within budget at $34.99, they are not an item I would recommend because all of these designs are easily recreatable and available online for much less. In fact, I have a pair that is very similar to this that I got on Amazon for only $10, and they fit my head and my daughter's head perfectly. So I'll go ahead and link that in the description box below if you're interested, but I would again recommend, if you're more so just doing it for the look, to see if you can find a similar design online for a fraction of the cost. But if you are set on buying ears in the park, I would instead recommend a pair like these, which are leather with embossed characters. You have that clock in the middle and this large bow, and it's something that is not only of great quality, but unique specifically to Disneyland, since Disneyland Park has the original ride. So if you're going to spend money on a pair of ears, I would recommend getting one of the leather ones, or one that just has a unique design to Disneyland that, again, is not easily recreatable and something that you can find online. And with that, we've purchased our souvenirs. And after adding estimated sales tax, we have a grand total of, drumroll please, $192.37 for Tier 0 ticket holders, $198.21 for Tier 1 ticket holders, and $199.13 for those who purchased a Tier 2 ticket. And there you have it. We managed to plan an entire day at Disneyland for under $200, which you can see is a tall ask, but is definitely doable. I hope all of the items in this budget helps you with planning your upcoming visit. And if it does, let me know in the comment box below. Which of these items are you going to use? Some of them, all of them, none of them? And let me know if you have any questions about any of the items that I presented. And I'll make sure to respond in either the comments or with a more detailed video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a magical day.